Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Yggdrasil Roadshow with me, Alexander Lapiniemi. Today, we're going to have a look at the releases for July. We're going to talk to the studios directly, and we're going to have a look at the games and see what they are about. It's a pretty packed roadmap for July with lots of games, but also, as usual, we have network promotions happening. And this time we're doing the hottest hits. It's a 40K missions tournament, 40K missions campaign and promotion, featuring Veil of the Gods, Vikings, Go Berserk, Raptor Dalmax, Golden Fish Tank, and Multiply Multi-Max. So do look out for that one. If you're not already opted in, speak to your key account manager to make sure you are. You don't want to miss out. On the network promotion topic, we also have another one coming up, not in August, but in September. And this is a pretty big one. It's a super big one. It's a 100K price drop. Now, price drop is super easy. You only really need one game of the games here, but ideally you have all, of course. So put them live. Don't forget about that. Also, always good. So yeah, make sure you give this this network campaign an extra push. Give it a banner. Put the games up, because it is essentially a free promotions for your players to play, to participate in. It's super duper easy. It appears in the game. And they can go in and play and claim the awesome cash prizes with a chance to win on every spin. The participating games are Veil of the Gods, Vikings Go Berserk, Homes and the Stolen Stones, Raptor Double Max, Golden Fish Tank, Vikings Go to Valhalla, Casino Zeppelin Reloaded, Golden Fish Tank 2 Gigablocks, Jackpot Raiders, and Multiply Multi-Max. So plenty of games for this power-packed network promo. Don't miss out. And for the panel of the day, we have 3 speakers, well, 4 speakers if you include myself as well. Yggdrasil will have their very own Sebastian Belton talking about Badger Miners and Notre Dame, 2 really cool Yggdrasil releases. And we have Yann Bautista from Peter and Sons tuning in to talk about Thunderhawks, a really cool Native American themed game. It's got a dream catcher, it's got a spirit pipe, it's got, lock and spin. It's got bonus. It's just listen to that presentation. I'm sure it's going to be amazing when we do call him up. It's going to be super duper good stuff from Peter and Sons like usual. And last out in the roadshow, we have Matt Ingram from Reflex Gaming, and he's going to talk about really speedy fruits. It's the fast fruits, Double Max. It's it's a really cool game. It's a classic kind of appeal game at first glance. But when you get into playing it, you realize it's actually really, really kind of modern in the way it plays with features and stuff like that. So once again, a really interesting crossover from Reflex there. I want to say that classic is the new modern, and this game certainly catches that phrase for sure. So let's get into the content, guys, and I really hope that you enjoy what we have for you this time around. And yeah. Let's get on with it. All right, welcome back to the Roadshow once again. Sebastian Belton, how are you doing, my friend?
Hi, Alex. Yeah, I'm doing great. Here for another roadshow, another selection of games. So, as always, really looking forward to showcasing what we've got here at Yggdrasil.
Awesome stuff. And you are tuning in from what looks like to be underground, a quarry.
Yes. Currently, my head's in somewhere in between. I've got like some wooden panels protecting cave in on my head, so I'm quite happy about that being there.
That's good. Some nice solid wood beams, and I assume somewhere in there in the middle, that's where the action is going to happen, and currently is happening because it's in your head, right?
Absolutely.
Action.
Yeah, and to either side of me, I've got some rather rambunctious badgers ready to drill their way through the earth to collect potentially lots of winnings.
Rambunctious, I love that word. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good word.
Okay, but let's get into the gameplay, shall we?
Yeah, let's dive in. Okay, everyone, welcome here to Badger Miners. As you can see, it's kind of a different vibe. We're straight in there with that information with the multipliers there at the top. The big USP of the game, as you can see, probably is the multipliers that appear along the top of the reel there. Every time that hamster appears, it's basically anticipation for either a plussing or multiplying those numbers that appear along the reel at the top. That is the main pull of the game and what determines how big a wins you'll get. You get this in conjunction with the three main reels in the middle, collecting the little mining trucks. They will have values that are basically adjusted based on the win values of the lines. So when you get them there, you see the miner there, we get a €3 value on the €1.50 along the top, and then that goes into the top times the multiplier that you get there. And that's how you get the really big cash value. You can see the hamster appearing there, and then that multiplier being accrued onto the value. You can see now we've got a couple of mining trucks gathering the values as they go, and they're now going to go, now they've got those win values into those multipliers, and then huge win potential there you can see gathering. All the while, we are gathering the individual selections for the free spins. You can see that at the top there, you need a grand total of 5 scatters to trigger the free spins. Hopefully we're going to see that shortly. We can see here the mining trucks though gathering is at the same time. These are gathering during the respins. These are free respins as well during this, once you have if you have the win values with the mining trucks, and they'll go into those values. And we can see now we've now accrued 5 scatters, which is also going to trigger the free spins round. It gives 2 additional numbers on top. So if you get 5 scatters, you get 7 free spins. If you get 7 scatters, you get 9 free spins, and so on and so forth. During this time as well, the free spins work independently in their own way, but they basically follow the base game as well. The main difference will be is higher multipliers, and also your gold cart is held in place if it gets a win value. So you need it to be part of a win line. You can see there we've now included it. So regardless of whether we get a win or not, those will remain in place until a win is accrued through the lines. If not, or the free spins round ends, whichever one comes first. But it will remain there during each spin, so that you can continuation wins and that to get into the multiplier. You do not have that in the base game in comparison. So we've got 2 free spins left here. Hopefully I can get an example of this miner cart here getting a win. You can see here, if it's included, so at the moment it's getting a win value, so it's going straight in there in the multiplier. It's a really unique part of the game and sets it aside from any other game out there on the market. Down to the last free spin. You can see here we got that mining cart right at the end. And that ends the free spins round. As you can see, quite a lucrative potential in the free spins there. Thanks very much for watching.
Awesome stuff. Thank you for that presentation. Really cool game, I gotta say, like thematically quite different to what we normally produce. So it's gonna be really cool to see how that goes. So on that note, let's talk about the theme. Let's talk about a theme. I do love to talk about the theme. The first thing that you're presented with is the graphic, the assets, the colors, etc. So, okay. So could you walk us through like how did this theme come to be, and with the mechanics? Was it the case of we had cool mechanics that we thought this theme would fit, or was it kind of the other way around? What can you tell us?
I think it's kind of like an amalgamation of both things. Obviously, the theme is extremely unique, as you mentioned, in Badger Miners. I mean, the mining game, I suppose, is very popular in the industry, but I don't think, as far as I'm aware, there's not another game that has Badgers mining, which kind of sets it aside from any other of the mining games. As you can see, the theme's quite light-hearted as well. It's not kind of fun, you know, something that's easygoing and easy to, you know, quite acceptable for most people that are going to be playing slots. And it's a nice, easygoing, feel good slot game. In regards to the mechanics, as I mentioned, there is a very unique unique mechanic that it has with the multipliers, and that awesome hamster that appears, who in my opinion is the MVP of the game. I absolutely love the little hamster that appears.
Little hamster, yes.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he's awesome. He's better than the badgers in my opinion. The hamster wins it all, but he's also relevant for the anticipation of him coming in and adding either a plus or a multiplier to those additional values, which makes the game suddenly can have a very different take, because you can go from having maybe 5x multiplier, and if you get a bunch of multipliers on those, they all multiply each other to create a massive multiplier, which can make the game super interesting.
That's really cool, man. But let's talk a little bit about the sort of the math model and the potential here of the game, because obviously already in the base game I would assume that you have quite an interesting potential with the multipliers happening. So if you could walk us through kind of the potential in the chronological order of the game coming into the base game and then in the bonus round, what can you say about that?
So as I mentioned, the free spins is really just like a more hyped up version of the base game. The base game in of itself is already quite lucrative, dependent on if you can get lucky with number one, the multipliers along the top, and number two, with lining up the golden carts with some good win values. I think that's the main thing to take home from this game, is big wins with the gold carts to get massive values imprinted on them, and then also go large with the multipliers, with the hamster beefing up your multiplier and get those respins. And then if you can time those two together, if you can get the big carts and the big multipliers side by side, that's where you're going to get the really big value wins.
Yeah, the really big and juicy stuff for sure. And what was the max win of this game? I'm sure you mentioned it, but if we can take that again.
It's a 10,000x bonus if you're talking about a multiplier, if that's what you're referring to.
Yeah, the max win is a 10,000x, right, for the Badgers.
Big fun.
That sounds super juicy. That's the win that we're all looking for, of course. Let's move on to I want to say that this is the $1 million question here. So who would you say Badger Miners is for?
So Badger Miners, I think, would appeal number one and primarily to people that are interested in high volatility wins. This game pretty much represents that on the highest level. You can really see that with the way the multipliers are structured and the way that the mining carts gather the value. So it's the excitement to customers that want to see those two coming together and having. When you can see that happening, it's going to be like a really exciting experience when you finally line up those big mining carts with the big multipliers. So that's the thrill that people are going to be, trying to experience in the game. So it's going to appeal to anyone that wants that big thrill, big win experience, but also it's a nice, as I said, a nice easy-going game, so it can appeal to a wide variety of players that just want to enjoy a cool theme, something that's very unique, and also a unique experience. It's not like you can't win with the smaller wins as well. You can always get like a smaller multiplier and still experience a nice little win here. So it does have the ability to kind of appeal to that wider audience, people that are looking for smaller, medium wins, fairly regularly. Although if you really want to go big and get the really big wins, you can go in there for the free spins and try and nail down those big multiplier wins.
The big multiplier wins. I feel like in this game that there is multiple levels of suspense, especially when you come to the bonus round, where you want to see what kind of operations you're getting on the very top. Like, are you getting the crazy multipliers, medium crazy multipliers, and then kind of what happens after that? So I feel like there's several levels here, which I think is pretty interesting for sure. To first kind of see what you're dealing with, and then you see how you're gonna deal with it, so to say, with the outcome. All right, so let's conclude with the last but definitely not least in terms of relevance question. It's what are the different ways to bet in this game?
This one's quite straightforward, actually, Alex. It's just a single option, and it's an unusual number at 95x as well.
Oh, really?
It's an unusual number. Normally you get 100x, but 95x is an unusual one.
That's quite a nice, visually it will appear significantly cheaper than 100x, even though it's very close, right? It's like when you have in the stores, you have this 0.99 instead of 1, or 199 instead of 200. It's a big difference, right? But
Absolutely.
regardless, it's 5x less. It's considerably cheaper. But okay, cool beans. Thank you so much for that, Seb. And I believe you have another game coming up for us right around the corner.
I certainly do. And Notre Dame Tales coming up on that one as well. So I look forward to showing that one.
Let's switch over to that game right away. Let's have a look.
So here we are, Notre Dame Tales, Gigablocks, I might add at the end. So for those of you that probably might notice through this demo, it is actually a reskin of our very popular game, Golden Fish Tank 2, Gigablocks. So it's basically very similar. There are some slight differences, but the game's been completely overhauled visually, as you can see. So very few people will notice. As you can see, there's the treasure chest feature, which was also very prevalent in Golden Fish Tank 2. And you can see the many benefits you get in that, from cash values to free spins to access to the features and stuff like that, feature picks. But yeah, in the whole, it plays very similarly to Golden Fish Tank 2. Obviously, the theme is the main point of this, based on the Quasimodo fairy tale. You can see here we're going straight into free spins. We're getting minimalistic 8. So we will show here a current free spins of 8, and we get 3 features. We can gamble for additional features. The features gamble is basically gives us additional options at getting those features. Or for free spins. So you can see this excellent addition that they made to make this look really cool. So you get those. We're basically gambling to get additional features and free spins. We now have 4 features, as you can know, pick and click. So these give you a variety of bonuses, pretty much the same selections that we had from Golden Fish Tank 2. So you can get random wilds, additional free spins. There's a variety of different options on here. There's really a lot to choose from. Stacked wilds as well, you can see. So it really is very similar. Just obviously with a complete overview. So inside now of Notre Dame, you can see we will now take part of those free spins with the pick and click options now activated within the game. So you can see the random wilds that we've got, or the Esmeralda wilds in this case, providing really big win potentials. So we have these wilds that are selected for the characters that basically now will be appearing throughout the free spins, and this generates huge win potential, as you can see clearly. I think that was one of the deciding factors that made Golden Fish Tank 2 such a positive game, and obviously the theme as well, but also the opportunity for the pick and click features to really generate an exciting free spins experience based on the kind of options that you managed to select, made for a completely wild experience, and certainly a differing outcome for every individual free spins round. So as you can see, we're just playing this out, and we had a pretty good experience there with just over 1,200. So thanks for watching.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much for that, Seb. I mean, I gotta say, this game looks really, really tasty. Like very high finish, just super, super cool game. Definitely, you can immediately see that a lot of effort has gone into the works behind this game. And I think, as you mentioned, it's based on a previous title, which, it frees up some work to actually, put some more effort into the asset work, make it really, really pop, or so I would assume. But can you walk us through a little bit about the process of making this game, making it look this good and working in the already kind of existing features then?
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. I mean, as you can tell, I would agree. This game's been lovingly prepared from scratch, from the artistic implementation, and it's based on a fairy tale that we're all very familiar with. The story of Quasimodo, and they've excellently depicted that in this game and made it the center point of the title. Obviously, it's backed up, as I mentioned, by a very strong set of mechanics one that's tried and tested and already done very well in the market. So we're super excited about this game release, and we hope that it will do very well on the markets that we release them on.
Yeah, and talking a little bit about the math features and potential of the game. I mean, the math model we're using here is, I would say, very different to what we've been using in our recent releases. You know, most notably when you look at the default max win, which is it was 4000x or what was it?
Yeah,
Was,
around that. Yeah,
I think it's
but
3700 something,
yeah,
right?
something like that.
Which I think is really good. It's like it has a more kind of condensed pay table in that sense, where I would assume then you have more frequent kind of, you know, interesting enough wins, rather than you're farming for this extreme win. Like I'm guessing this is kind of what we're seeing as well in the game in terms of what the average player would experience. Am I right in assuming this? Like, am I on the right track here?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, don't forget as well, Golden Fish Tank 2 was, we released that back when we were only utilizing one RTP, I think 96%. And now we have a multi RTP variance for our game. So obviously that's been taken into account. The game's been engineered to be, similar to the experience, really. Like we've not tried, although I might agree with you to some respect. I mean, we really want to recapture the excitement and the feeling of Golden Fish Tank 2, just with a completely different thematic experience. And I think for most people that play this, unless you're very, very perceptive, most people will not realize it's a Golden Fish Tank 2 reskin. Most people will experience it as a brand new experience. And because the game mechanics are tried and tested, we're extremely hopeful that this game will perform similarly, if not better.
Yeah. I mean, when was Golden Fish Tags released? Like we're talking about years ago, like the second one. So this
A
like
couple of years ago.
it's a game that, you know, we're taking a concept that worked back in the day. That's, by the way, it's still very popular. Don't get me wrong, but you get a different kind of audience with a new release, right? So I think that's, you know, something that really speaks for the success of the game. We take a, you know, a math model and concept that's already kind of proven working, right? And then you take a fresh take with a theme and the marketing around the game. I think that can be, you know, make a really good smash hit. So when we are talking about the player demographic here, who this game is for, I mean, I would want to say that, you know, if you like Golden Fish Tank 2, you're gonna like this game because it plays similarly, but you're gonna have a different kind of theme and feel. But but is there anything else you can add, as you know, in regards to, you know, player appeal here, to this fresh take and this specific theme?
Well, I think you nailed them two most important points. I think, I agree with the fact that the Notre Dame tale, as a general piece of literature, is worldwide renowned. So anyone that sees it in the casino is likely to click on it from just even if they're just curious to see what it's about. People will recognize the name. Oh, Notre Dame, or oh, is that Quasimodo? They're going to check it out.
Yeah.
And then from that point, as I said, the tested mechanics of Golden Fish Tank 2 will hopefully take in the customer to an enjoyable gambling experience, and that's kind of the 2-point direction the game will hopefully showcase when it releases.
Yeah, we're gonna find out about that. So I'm really looking forward to it. But on a personal note, I gotta say that the game looks really good.
Yep.
And obviously the features are proven to be awesome as well.
Yep.
What are you gonna say?
I was just going to say a couple of things to add as well. There is a golden bet feature, which is point two of your bet increase to give you an additional pick and click selection on the free spin. So it's nice having that little bit of addition to your features experience when you hit the free spins. If you want to, spend 0.2 of your bet stake increase to have that. Additionally, there is a buy bonus section, and I was just mentioning, we were obviously saying that it's nice to have some selections in your buy bonus, and this one delivers with a 60x and 100x, which is nice. It's a different from the 100/500 that we normally have in a lot of our games.
Yeah, that's good. Like personally, I do like the more affordable bonus buys. It
Yeah.
gives me, so I don't have the option to go full tilt. You know what I mean? So for me,
Absolutely. Yeah.
that is quite a good one. But okay, I think we pretty much covered it all there. So I'll let those be the closing words. Thank you so much for tuning in once again to the Roadshow, Seb, and I'm sure I will see you next time as well.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure, Alex.
Cool beans, man. Until then, have a good one.
Take care.
All right, welcome back to the Roadshow. Yann Bautista, Peter and Sons, how are you, my friend?
Thank you, Alexander. Happy to be here again presenting our next game.
Awesome stuff. It looks like you're tuning in from a bit of a dry climate there. Some kind of desert, maybe that.
Exactly.
Some kind of...
I'm in the middle of the desert. So this is the theme about this game. Is a Native American themed game. So we are here in the middle of the American deserts with the Indian tribe.
Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Happen to be a bit of a fan of those kind of themes myself. I find them, very interesting. Their culture, very spiritual, very attuned with nature. That's awesome stuff. I mean, being from the north of Sweden myself, it's something I resonate heavily with. So I can't wait to check this game out with you. So let's go into the gameplay, shall we?
Okay, let's do it. So this is the next launch, Thunderhawk, coming out the 4th of July. As I said, this is a Native American theme. As you can see, the setup, this is a very classical setup, I would say. Or the game is, well, it's the grid is the setup of the grid, as you can see, is like 3 rows, 4 lines, 5 lines, sorry. 20 pay lines. It's a mid-high volatility game. The game, if you see here, for example, the main screen, as you can see, you have this amazing totem, pretty render, where you have this pay table next to it. So the game is all about getting these instant wins. We have 4 high symbols, 4 low symbols. Then we have the bonus symbol, which doesn't pay. That's the scatter, but then we have the wild that replaces any other symbol except the scatter, and we also have this Thunderhawk symbol. So, and the game is all about that, the Thunderhawk symbol, which gives instant wins, right? So you need to collect at least 3 of those symbols to get a win, and the wins are displayed next to the grid, as you can see. So if you get at least 3, you can get up to 12. You get the win amounts depending on the bet size. That's the idea of the game. So basically the game, the base game is pretty straightforward. What you can see there is that we have this pay table. On the bottom of the grid, you have the spirit pipe, which is a collector. And why is this? Because we have 2 bonus games here. You have the normal frisbees games, which triggers when you collect 3 scatters, but then you have a super free spins game, or a different type of bonus game, and this is very nice. So you need to collect at least 6 free spins game, and the 7th is gonna be a super free spins game, and we're gonna explain that later. So another thing you can see here is that you have the possibility as well to buy yourself into the free spins games or the super free spins game, and you also have the what we call it, this boost feature, that you pay a little bit extra and you increase the chances to land into the free spins game as well, the golden bet, right? So basically during the base game, as you can see, well, you have 20 pay lines, so you get normal wins, and then you can, from time to time, you can get like these Thunderhawk symbols, and it displays the instant win at the left. Let's talk a little bit about the free spins game, because this is obviously what the player is seeking for. This is where the great potential of the game stands. And you need to collect at least 3 scatters to trigger free spins, and you get 10 free spins awarded. So during free spins, what you have, basically it plays like in the base game. You need to collect Thunderhawk symbols as well to provide instant wins, but you have this power up holder, we call it the dream catcher, And you have different power-ups there. So the first power-up we can talk about is the multiplier. So you can get multipliers ranging from 2x to 4x. So on any win that you get during the free spins round, if you get a multiplier, that multiplier is going to be applied to that win. At the same time, you have different power-ups like free spins, so you can get 1 to 3 extra free spins. This is very nice because you can extend the free spin session. And you can also get 1 to 3 power Thunderhawk symbols, which is very nice as well, because if you get just one Thunderhawk symbol in the screen, and at the same time you land 2 of them in the power-up holder in the dream catcher, that will generate an instant win. So that's basically the free spins game. Let's talk a little bit about the super free spins game, which is the main bonus game here in this game, which is all about Thunderhawk symbols. So once you collect 7 free spin sessions, the 7th is going to be a super free spins. You will see that the grid is going to be a little bit different. You'll find also the power-up holder, the dream catcher there, which is going to be offering only free spins, extra free spins. Initially, you get 5 free spins, and you see that the grid size, it has like 12 placeholders. It's all about getting Thunderhawk symbols. So once you start getting them, they get sticky in the panel. So you keep going there. Maybe you land some extra free spins, the sessions keeps going, and at the end up, you will get awarded depending on the amount of Thunderhawk symbols that you manage to collect there, right? So the maximum amount is 12 of them. The max payout of the game is 10,000x. The max bet amount is 50 euros. So that's the highest price you can get in this game is 500,000K, right? And this is basically it. We can talk a little bit about, the different versions we have. As usual, we have 4 different versions, the 96, the 94, the 90.5, and the 86. As I said, the volatility of the game is medium-high. It's around 8.6, 86, 8.6 in the 86 in the Yggdrasil scale. The hit frequency, it's 28.31, but in free spins is 1 every 163, which is not bad. So that's why the reason of collecting also free spins to trigger the super free spins game. To hit super free spins naturally, it's 1 every 1,143. So that takes, as said, 6 free spin sessions to get there. But as usual, you can also buy it through the buy option, both free spins and super free spins. And this is basically it.
Wow. Thank you so much for that presentation. And I just got to say that this game has, it has a wide variety when it comes to a demographic appeal. I think I want to be a little bit bold, and I want to say that there's something for everyone in here, for all kinds of players. Like really, like it's just phenomenal the way you have, weighted these different features and how they kind of play together. And that's awesome. I want to talk a little bit about the features. There's some things I really like about the game that I want to highlight. But first I want to talk a little bit about the theme, as usual. I like to talk about the theme first, because that's what we're starting with. That's the first thing we see. So you have all these lovely mechanics. Obviously, with the dream catcher, we have the spirit pipe in here. So did you start with an idea of having a Native American theme with all these lovely kind of feature names, or did the kind of features come first and you developed around a theme? If you could walk us through that, that would be awesome.
Well, normally, as I explained before with other games, normally we have a pool of mechanics, definitely. So we start with the mechanic, and then we need to find the theme that suits the mechanic.
Nice.
Right? So we have also a pool of themes, definitely. So this is an ongoing process. So in this case, we said, wow, this is one of the things we don't have. Let's apply it to this mechanic. It's going to be. And that's where the creativity of the artist starts, right? He needs to provide different concepts, and this one was, well, it suited perfect for me.
Yeah, I really like it. I think you did a really good job in specifically doing that. You have the pool of themes, you have the pool of mechanics, and it's a bit of a pick and mix situation where you were able to find a really good match, or so I believe, with all these lovely features. So let's talk about the features a little bit more, because like there's something that I really like in this game, and that is that you're in a sense you're giving a little bit of extra kind of incentive to players to actually hit the bonus round naturally, and you have adopted the math here so that you make it actually quite achievable with a 1 in 160, which I would like to say it's fairly reasonable. So you can expect in a session to actually see bonus rounds, and as such you will also make progress on the spirit pipe in eventually locking up the super bonus without having to actually go full tilt and buy the super bonus, which I think is really good. And this is very good, especially really good in markets where you're not allowed to buy the bonus, for example. So but also for operators here, this is a really strong incentives for players to actually remain in the game. They hit the bonus round and realize I'm charging this lovely spirit pipe by hitting more bonus rounds. I'm gonna come back, or I'm gonna carry on playing because I want to see that bonus round. It gives it gives the player a little bit of extra excitement to stay in the game a bit longer, and I think that's quite a significant thing you did there. And also, like in the sort of normal free spins round, like Dreamcatcher, I think is awesome. I mean, the multipliers, and you also can get 3 stacked phoenixes in there to give you a price straight off, or just add to any more phoenixes that you already have on the reels. That's just wow, it's super cool. Talking about, I want to talk a little bit about the math here with all these lovely features. So we obviously talked about the the frequency of the bonus round, but it's like in a kind of a normal player session, you sit down, maybe you play a couple of 100 spins, you sit down for 20-30 minutes. What can a player experience, like realistically speaking here? What would you say?
Well, I would say that the thing is that the game is pretty consistent, because you can see already in the base game what you will find in the free spins games, right?
Exactly.
You get already in the base game, you get already these instant wins by collecting these Thunderhawk symbols. So you get a little bit that experience already. So that's what you can expect. And as I said, I mean, to land the first free spin session, it doesn't take that long. So you realize already that there is things happening. It's always the challenge with this kind of games, how to kind of retain the player, right?
Exactly.
So this was a little bit the idea when you have these bonus games where they need to collect more free spins games, that they can see that it's not so hard to get into the free spins game, and if you collect a few of them, you get an additional bonus game, right? That was a little bit the idea.
Yeah, I think you did that really well. I gotta say, I'm really impressed. So just to to tie up the sack here a little bit, talking about player demographics, I want to say that it has a very wide appeal, like 100%. And when we look at the different markets, both in Europe and rest of the world, like all over the place, everybody has a certain relationship with nature, and the music is really calm and it's really nice. I think it ties well together, and you have a mix of what you see is what you get. You have a mix of like stick around and get rewarded. You have a mix of frequently hitting bonus rounds, and also like if you stick around, you can see some really massive wins. So it's like it kind of appeals to a very wide range of players. So to kind of single out a couple of demographics here, I think is completely irrelevant, honestly. it's like...
I mean, this was the idea with this game. I mean,
Yeah.
you can see that what we had here, I mean, it's kind of, we call it, for Peter and Sons, it's more of a classic game. But of course we had a little spicy here with our art, right? We are recognized
as always.
and they're very nice. But it's a game that I think is going to appeal to a very broad set of players and markets, as you said.
100%. Well, actually, I'm going to let those be the closing words. I think we covered everything quite nicely here. This is a very nice game, and it's going to hit the markets very soon. So we're all looking forward to seeing the performance, and I have really high hopes for this game. And this is a game that I can see myself playing as well. Of course, I'm really, really loving it, as with all your games, honestly. It's for me, it's about, you know, the way you portray the characters and kind of the look and feel of the game, how it all comes together. So that's kudos once again. Big fan right here. So yeah, thank you so much, Yann, and I will see you next time.
See you soon.
Bye bye. All right, welcome back to the Roadshow. Matt Ingram, nice to have you back, my friend.
Good to see you, Alex.
Awesome stuff. And you're tuning in from what looks like the inside of a dying star, or some kind of action movie explosions, or
yeah, it's a picture of the inside
of
my head, Alex. Yeah. It's
That's
a crazy place.
That's a crazy place, man. But that is probably coming from the next Reflex game here that you're going to show us today. A very explosive, classic appeal, fruity, with a very modern twist, I would say. So why don't we get straight into the gameplay?
Sure, yeah. Okay, so the first points to note really are that it's a classic fruits game, but we've modernized it in the sense of, you know, they're highly rendered, highly polished fruits with an explosive background like the one behind me, which animates in the free spins bonus for sort of extra excitement. It's a double max game based very loosely on what we did with Doubling Up, but we've added 4 different types of wild to it, and you know, that adds for extra excitement and bigger wins. So then we also have a golden bet, I should point out, which doubles your chance of triggering the bonus. So let's see what the gameplay brings us here. It's a pop and drop cascading game, obviously, and every time you get a win and it cascades, it doubles the multiplier. That's the double max gem, right? We're going to get bonus? No, not this time. So yeah, and in the feature, the multiplier doesn't reset. So there you see a boost wild. So you get, but your multiplier gets boosted absolutely for free. We give you that for free, right? So you don't need to get a win, and that can boost it up to 3 times as well, which is really it gets you past all the smaller multipliers and straight into the good stuff. So we've got regular wilds, we've got boost wilds. You'll also see super wilds, which expand up the entire reel, and each way wilds, which means that any wins that use the wilds pay both directions. So we're up to 128 on the multiplier here, getting interesting now. This win, I think that's the lot. There we go. So just under 60x on that one. Nice, and this base game is really good at delivering those kind of 10 to 50x wins, which keep you playing, you know, and give you plenty of action. There's the super wild, expands up the whole of that second reel there. Clearly means that you can generate more wins, and it's replaced it with a boost wild, which is great. So that's a free boost up to ×8 there. You get almost no very small wins in this game, you know, because everything is multiplied. Got the background tune going. It's a bit Miami Vice, but I like it for that, you know. Who doesn't like Miami Vice? Our sound engineer had a great time with this. Nice little 20x win there, nearly. Okay, what's happening next? More wins. Boost wild there again. Giving us 2 times boost, 3 times boost. Wow, that's great. So, you know, already up to ×16 there. Very cool, I like that. And of course, as you can see, we can drop in bonus symbols on the cascade as well, so you can trigger the bonus from the cascading symbols. Might even do it this time, looking at this. Let's see. No, not this time. Okay. So the bonus is triggered. Oh, here we go again. There we go. We've got a bonus trigger. Fantastic. Okay, the bonuses can be triggered 3, 4, or 5 times. And when you get it, you obviously get more free spins, which you can gamble if you wish. if you feel that way inclined. The bonus is very achievable, but actually I'm decided not to gamble on this occasion. So we've got 7 free spins here for a 3 of a kind trigger. And you can see that the multiplier isn't resetting in the free spins bonus. So just with the other double max games that we've done, you know, the excitement really builds throughout this feature. And you can get some crazy big wins in your last spin or last 2 spins, you know, as the multiplier gets so big. You can see the music's amped up, the background's gone a bit crazy. You know, this is a really exciting bonus, I think. Oh, yeah, times 32 up to already. Pretty good. Oh, we've got an each way wild there. You can see that's triggered wins in both directions. Times 64, great. Times 128, this is looking good. Nice 76 times a win. Already up to 100x there. 256 times, looking great. Another 25x. 512 times, look at that. Wow, nice. We're going to get any more? No, that's a shame. That's your lot. Okay. 742x, that's not a bad win. Yeah. And that's it, that's the game. You know, you can see it's exciting, it's volatile, and there's lots going on, particularly in, you know, that base game where a lot of games go a bit quiet, and it's all about the free spins bonus. For our game, it is about the free spins bonus, but the base game is exciting too. So yeah, I hope hope our players love it.
Yeah, I hope so too. I think they will. I really think they will. Like me personally, I'm a big fan of this game. Like I think it's really, really good because you said it there. You just said it. What I think is the best thing about this game is that it doesn't provide you with the many bullshit wins. It doesn't give you the kind of the very small, insignificant things. You know, it's more about, you know, getting into the bonus round, and you will have some interesting wins getting there in the base game. As you said, you get the 20x, the 50x. Hey, that's still a very big win. Like for me, like if I get a 50x, I'm like, I'm reacting. I'm like, that's good.
Happy,
that's nice.
Yeah.
It's not the biggest win, but you know what I mean. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's a fine win. Yeah. I mean, it's a real players game, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's like, you know, I would say it caters to many kind of demographics in that sense. Yes, you have the farmer, the bonus farmer, but you also have the enjoyer that can come in and quickly grasp like what's going on here, what am I looking for, and get some quick excitement of, you know, interesting wins. When you get a win cascade going, you get some multipliers in the base game, you can truly see the potential. So I mean, it's definitely, it's all there. But before we get too deep into talking about the mechanics and the maths here, I want to start about the theme, because I want to iterate what we've been saying here a couple of times, that, you know, we're looking at a very kind of classic appeal game, but it has a lot of modern aspects when it comes to the music, the effects, the changing background, sort of like it's really like a high-end, you know, production here, which I think is really good to see in the kind of classic format. So just want to know here, like, where did you start this game? Did you decide that, okay, we're gonna make a double max game, we're gonna have this math, and let's use this theme, or was it more on, let's do this theme and let's do these mechanics? Could you walk us through a bit like the development here of the game, how it came to be?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of 2 things coming together really. We knew we wanted to do a high-end but classic theme. So take a classic theme, you know, that everyone's seen, a fruits game, but really make those fruits pop. Build a lot of excitement into the game, which, you know, obviously games from 10-20 years ago didn't really do so much. You know, music that builds as your wins increase. I mean, music that goes a little bit crazy in the feature, as you say, animated background. So all of that stuff, it is a classic theme, but it's got a really good modern twist on it. And we knew we wanted to do a double max game. You know, we had a lot of success with doubling up. And so the maths is kind of based on that, but we that was a 25 line game, and this is a 20 line game, and we've done that because it works much better with the wilds. And I mean, it was a deliberate sort of balancing act, getting those wilds working well, particularly with the each way wilds, and the 20 lines work really well with that. So, you know, it's definitely a move on from what we did before. And max win is just under 20,000x, so it's pretty exciting for people. And it's not just about the max win, it's about what happens in between all of that stuff, right? So as you said earlier, there's some really nice sort of mid-range wins in there as well. Yeah, and the bonus is really achievable, but if you play the golden bet, it's even more achievable because it doubles your chance of getting it. Yeah. So I mean, that's a good deal, I think.
But it comes at, it's a 25% stake, like.
That's right. Yeah, but it doubles your chance of getting the bonus. So because all of that extra RTP goes into the bonus. Yeah,
folks,
that's a very cool
listen
thing.
up. You got a good deal on the table. Take
you heard it here first. Yeah.
25% stake, 50% chance. For me, that sounds pretty good, especially when we're looking at this kind of game where, if you get into the bonus round, when you get those multipliers up, like, one extra spin, stuff like this, like one spin can mean so much in this game.
Massive. Yeah.
Which is why I really like the gamble feature when you hit the bonus. I think I want to talk about this because I think it's really interesting. And okay, so there's two aspects of this this gamble feature. For me as a player, when I hit the bonus round and I have the ability to gamble my spins, it is a bit of an existential crisis for me. I'm like, okay, I see, because you have the spinner thing, right? So you gamble, right? You can see like, okay, this pretty big green area there. I feel like I can hit that, but if I don't hit it,
man, you're going to be gutted. Yeah. But that's the nature of gambling, isn't it? That's the entire essence of what gambling is, and some people don't want to do that, and that's fine. If they've taken a long time to hit the bonus, maybe they're feeling a bit risk averse, and that's fair enough. Just go in with the 7 free spins or whatever you've triggered, and that's great. As you saw then, 7 free spins can still deliver a great win. But if you hit it quickly or you're feeling lucky, the gamble's there for you. Yeah.
Exactly, because when you do gamble and you successfully gamble, you get more spins, and then you can continue to gamble until you get the max amount of spins. And
that's right. Yeah,
I'm guessing that's a pretty low probability if you're coming in on the lower end to get you all the way gambling to the higher end. That's gotta be.
It's not that low, actually. I mean, you can see it from the pie chart gamble. It's not as that's the thing. As you say, it's a bit of an existential crisis because it looks entirely achievable, but of course, even a 50-50 can not go your way. So. Yeah, I mean, that's the fun of it, I guess.
It's the beauty of probability.
But yeah, you can gamble up to 13 free spins, which is what you'd get if you triggered with 5 of a kind scatter. So yeah.
Yep, that's the bonus round that I would wish to all you good people tuning in here. The maximum amount of spins, the maximum amount of multipliers. We all deserve that. Summer is coming now. Would be nice with a little bit of extra bank. Not gonna lie. Okay, to just to tie up a little bit the discussion here about the game, I want to talk a little bit about the different ways to bet in the game. I mean, we have pretty much covered it, but there is also a buy bonus in this game where regulations allow. And so can you tell us about the buy bonus? It's 100x buy-in, right?
That's right. Yeah. I mean, you buy in and you can still gamble those spins if you buy in.
Yes.
So if you buy in at a lower level, then you can definitely gamble them. I mean, clearly, you're taking your chances again.
Yeah.
But again, that's the kind of essence of gambling, right? So,
really
but
is.
yeah, for where regulations allow, we thought we'd put a buy bonus in because some people really like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think it's something because I'm mostly playing where it is allowed, and I think I hate it and I also love it because it's like on the one end, yes, I wanna hit the bonus round naturally. I wanna play the game. I wanna feel the game, but sometimes you just tilt. I need to get the bonus round now, and I can definitely see that this is something that I would buy the bonus. I would gamble. I would lose. I would buy the bonus. I would gamble and I would lose, but I would have a good time.
Yeah. But actually, playing the base game in this case is still great fun because there's some really good wins to come out of the base game. This isn't one of those games where it's flat for 200 spins and then you get a great bonus. It's not flat at all. The base games are a very productive base game.
A very productive base game. I'll let that be the closing words. Fast fruit, double max. I'm looking forward to this release. Thank you so much, Matt, for tuning into the Roadshow again. And
very welcome.
I'm sure I'll see you very, very soon.
We'll speak
then,
soon. Yeah.
have a good one.
Okay. See you.